Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors on the back balls behind me. If you are going to do a bit of business, then please keep it in the Millwall family and check out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. Just quickly on that note, big thanks to Tom at 60 Shades of Clean for a beautiful bit of lunch the other day, but also signing up to be our complete back ball sponsor for the 2019-2020 season. This is an Easter Sunday Roundup show. Obviously, we played against Brentford at the Den on Friday and drew 1-1. And tomorrow we travel to Aston Villa, who are 9 undefeated and flying high in the Championship. So let's start out by taking a look at the 11 that started on Friday at the Den. There was one change for the team that drew 1-1 at Sheffield United. And obviously that was due to us going back to a 4-5-1 as opposed to a 3-5-2. Conor McLaughlin drops out and James Meredith replaced him, but coming to left back. It was Dave Martin in goal, Marlon Romeo at right back, the aforementioned James Meredith at left back, Alex Pearce with Juicy Jake alongside him. The midfield three was the two Ryans, Tunnicliffe and Leonard. Shane Ferguson played left wing, Jed Wallace played right, and up front as a lone striker, it was Lee Gregory. Now looking back on Brentford now, at the time we all get frustrated, but looking back on it, I'll get into a bit more in a minute, but it's another game gone, another round of games gone when we're in a better position than we was before the game kicked off. And we have only now lost one of our last 6 league games, which against Leeds United. Is that the 11 I would have gone with? Pretty much. I would have tweaked the midfield slightly, as we all know. Before I get into the, who shouldn't have played and why, and who should be playing and why, let's get into the game. It very much had an end of season feel about it. And, when it don't really matter to either team, which is, as I said, it's fine if you're Brentford. But for us, I don't blame the manager in any way for the players not flying into the start of the game, not taking the game by the scruff of the balls, and and not getting the crowd up for it, not really going for it as a unit, because Harris was partly to blame, and I'll get onto that in a minute when Thompson went off injured. But after the performance against Sheffield United, when we've got players, they're going to be out of contract at the end of the season, we've got players playing for places, we're fighting to stay in this division. The players should have wanted it more, and they just haven't got going. And Harris shouldn't have to give too much of a team talk before that game. He should go out and go, right, Sheffield United, just go out, do the same thing, fight for your place, fight for your contracts next season, big crowd, sun's out, London derby, go. And we just didn't really get going. Even when we took the lead through Lee Gregory, we wasn't fantastic. Then when we do take the lead, a sort of a go out of nothing, and again it proves to me that if Lee Gregory gets half a sniff and he's in the box, he will score goals. He spends a lot of time out wide chasing down balls and corner flags where he ain't possibly going to get the opportunity to shoot. So if he gets the chances, he does score goals. He needs to be in and around the box, and he needs to stay central and not be doing other people's work, but he gets frustrated and drifts out. So anyway, we take the lead, and then almost immediately Brentford reply, 1-1, what a goal. Fantastic goal, one of the best goals we've ever seen at the Den. Nothing Dave Martin can do. And we're back to level pegging. A big problem for us across the midfield as a whole, the distribution, the passing was terrible. Leonard and Tunnicliffe just kept kicking the fucking ball off the pitch. Jed's passing is shot to bits. He looks like he's tired and suffering. His confidence has been affected. But then Jed does what he does. He shows flashes of absolute brilliance. He knocks an unbelievable 40-yard through ball on his weak foot through to Ben Thompson. He gets hauled down by their player, their skipper, I think it was, and he knows exactly what he's doing. He's pulled him down an inch outside the penalty box. So he knew what he was doing. It's a free kick. It's a red card. Brentford are down to 10 men. I think it was about half an hour gone. Now we missed the resulting free kick. Jed shoots to keep us safe. It's fair enough. Then Tomo, as a result of that, 3-4 minutes later, he can't carry on. He has to come off. This, for me, is where Harris went wrong. This is where I can blame the manager. In my opinion, it is a game forged on opinions. Some of you will agree with me, and some of you won't. He didn't need to go to 4-4-2. He didn't need to go for 4-4-2. And as Alfie so rightly said in his post-match, Tom Elliott isn't an 80-minute player. He's an impact sub. But we was getting in behind with a 4-5-1. Tomo was making them runs. It resulted in their player getting sent off. So don't change it so early. It's not all about, you're not going to score more goals if you stick 4 forwards on the pitch, because you've got to work as a team to get the ball up the pitch. And we went to 4-4-2. Brentford then sat, and in our team's defence, it is very difficult when a team goes down to 10, and you see it on the Premier League games, what teams do against Man City, you see teams do it against Barcelona. When you've got 2 lines of 4, it's very hard to break that down if you're attacking that. For any team, let alone a team who doesn't have fantastic quality in the final third. Unfortunately, that is the reality. But we shouldn't have gone. We should have stayed with it. We should have gone like for like, and we should have brought in, either put Jed central and told him to stay central and brought Marshall on. And I think we would have would have had a lot more joy out of the game. Would have had a lot more joy out of the game. As a result, you know, it didn't happen, and after that, Brentford were actually a better side, and we just couldn't break them down. The crowd got frustrated, the team got frustrated, and the game ends 1-1. I'm not going to dwell on the game too much. You know, I've said, you know, the midfield for me was a massive problem. You know, the distribution amongst the whole of them was terrible. I would have brought on Sean Williams because, you know, we needed to stretch them. We needed to open up spaces. They was compact, they was defending, and Leonard and Tunnicliffe, I'll say it again, they're too similar. They're too similar to playing that free. In a free, you want a ball winner, you want someone who's got a decent passing range to spread the ball back, and then you want your flair player to unlock defences. What Thompson does is, and you know, this is what no one else does, I want Jed to play central, but when he has played central, what he does is he drifts off. He's like a bumblebee trying to get out someone's front room. He's here, there and everywhere. It seems like I'm hammering Jed lately, and I love Jed, and he tries so hard, and I think he knows the responsibility he has as one of the few players that can unlock a door. But he needs to stay central and stay in behind Gregory, because what Tomo does is he makes those driving runs beyond Gregory, beyond the midfield, you know, beyond the forward, and that's what Tomo does so well. Tunnicliffe and Leonard don't do that. They're both players that sit. Tunnicliffe is elusive. Leonard, yes, he works hard, like my mate said to me the other day, but mate, he works hard. I said, my mum works hard, but she's not any good at football. You know, you need that player that's going to bomb on beyond the forward, and we won't have that if Ben Thompson doesn't make it to Aston Villa, which if he pulls his hamstring on a Friday, it's unlikely he's going to be playing on a Monday, I'm sure. But listen, we draw the game 1-1, we come out of the ground, and the fan cams, you know, we all get frustrated, and we all feed off each other, and that's why it's good to do the fan cams in the heat of the moment. In the cold light of day, when we've gone away, and fair play to the young fella that come and done his first interview on the channel. He's very good. He shut me up a bit. Not shut me up, but he opened my eyes to other opinions and other criteria, which is, you know, that's good. That's what the channel's about. And he said, you know, Harris does what he does with the players he's got, but unfortunately we just don't have the players to unlock doors. We do lack that quality in the final third. But again, look, we've gone away. Rotherham have lost, you know, and we are, again, another round of games better off than we was at the start of the day. So there is positives to be drawn, and we move on to Aston Villa. And Aston Villa, of course, managed by Dean Smith, formerly the manager of Brentford, left earlier in the season to go to Villa, and he struggled to get going initially, but he's a good manager. You know, he's proved that at Brentford on a small budget. He's built a good side there. There was a good footballing side under Smith, and now Aston Villa are absolutely flying. They've won 9 straight games in the Championship, and they're absolutely hurtling towards the playoffs. So we go there tomorrow, and it's going to be very, very fucking difficult. Very difficult. But listen, anywhere we go, we are very difficult to beat, and we very rarely get hammered. So I don't think, you know, it's out of our reach tomorrow. I don't think it will be a hammering. I think we'll go up there with a good crowd. We'll give a good account of ourselves, and we do seem to perform. You know, I know it sounds stupid, but Sheffield United away and an Aston Villa away against 11 men will suit our play and our team better than playing against 10 men at home. What team will he go with? So I don't think Thompson will be fit. I think it'll be a 4-5-1. I think everyone, I'd bring in Williams, and I'd bring in Jed central, and I'd put Marshall out wide right, and that's the team I'll go with. I'll put it on the screen now, bang, there you go. That's the best we can go with at the minute, I think, in my opinion. It's not going to be an easy day at the office, but definitely a game you're capable of getting something out of. The one to watch for them is not the one to watch, there's 2 to watch, there's 3 to watch, there's too many to name. Tammy Abraham, if he's fit, there is a fitness doubt about him. And of course, Jack Grealish, they're a good side, you know, with a good manager, and they've hit form at an absolutely right time. So I've got to give you a pre-match prediction, and unfortunately, it's going to have to be doom and gloom. I'm going for a 2-0 Aston Villa win, which, you know, there's no shame in it, but at this point of the season, results are critical, and that's exactly why we needed a result against Brentford on Friday, because, you know, you earmark games now that we absolutely must win, and that Brentford, unfortunately, was one. Earlier in the season, a 1-1 draw against Brentford at home ain't the end of the world. Now it's crunch time, and we need results. Having said that, you know, if you look at the league table now, and I don't want to jinx it, we're in a much better position than we was, you know, I said last week, the week before, and Rotherham have got 3 games left, we've got 4. They've got Birmingham, they've got Middlesbrough, and they've got West Brom, not in that order. West Brom's away, so we know how difficult it is to go to the Hawthorns and try and perform. And, you know, I don't want to say we're safe, because we're not safe. Believe me, anything can happen. I know that, it's Millwall, but we're in a good position. You know, it's in our hands, and I'm feeling more confident than I have been previously. So that's your lot for this Easter Sunday Roundup show. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've been out enjoying the sunshine today. What's a day for it? And I'll see you at Villa Park tomorrow if you're going. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.